Hi, Harsh. Myself, Saurav. For next hour, we will discuss about your skills and about your projects and expertise. Okay. So I'll be providing you one or two DSA questions, then we'll proceed. So let me share my question. I'm sharing you in chat box. Okay.
Sir, introduce.
One second.
I want to introduce myself, sir.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Harsh Gupta, and basically I am from Uttar Pradesh. I am pursuing Bachelor's of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering from NIT Patna. I completed my intermediate and high school education at Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Gonda, Uttar Pradesh with 95.2 and 95.8 percentage respectively. I have a strong interest in web development and problem solving, and over the years I have built a strong foundation in full stack development, working on the projects that has deepened my understanding in the technologies like Node.js and React.js. I have solved more than 600 DSA problems on platforms like LeetCode and GFG, which has greatly enhanced my algorithmic thinking. In my college, I have actively participated to group projects and student organization. I believe my ability to work effectively in the team along with my ethics and communication skills makes me a valuable contributor to collaborative efforts. Thank you, sir.
So the first question is from your project. Okay. So there is GPT powered movie search and recommendation in your project, right?
Yes, sir.
So could you please tell me the process or what have you done regarding that?
Okay, sir. In the GPT powered app, that is, sir, 1 second, I am pinning both the screen in a frame, sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
Basically, I just want to know how have you implemented the search functionality?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Stop sharing. It will do. Yeah.
Stop presenting. Yeah, now it is stopped.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So talking about my Netflix GPT project, it is
Yeah.
basically
I just wanted to know about how have you implemented the search functionality.
okay.
Okay.
Sir, there is a API provided by OpenAI company, and they have various models. Like I have used Turbo 3.5 model, so they provide a API. So in that API, we have to request some, like it is similar to ChatGPT interface. So ChatGPT interface, we write some commands, and they give us the suggestions based on their. At the end backend, they are using the some models like Turbo 3.5, or there are new models right now. So I am just basically using the power of that API Turbo 3.5 model. So I using the request response method, exhaust.post and fetch method. I am requesting some keywords, like user will give me some keywords that I want to watch this type of movie. I want something funny, something Hollywood, something Bollywood, or whatever. So I am I am reframing that query, like I am adding some sugar, syntactical sugar, like give me the list of 5 movies that the user is providing in the query, and also give me only the 5 movies and in a list format. So GPT, what Turbo API, I will request to that API, and that they will give me a response. So they will basically give me a 5 list of the movies. So I will extract that 5 movies in a list, and then with the help of TMDB API, I will extract the information of that movies. So the movie database is a API. So that will, if you provide, they have also have many APIs. So if we give some keywords of the movies, so they will give me the posters, the video links. So they will give the all the information regarding that movies. So I have just integrated the two APIs in one interface, that is Netflix GPT. So I have used the power of GPT as well as TMDB to recommend users some movies, and it is working a very good way. Like my lot of friends used to search in that and to recommend from the movie.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the second question is how do you ensure security of users using your application?
So in Netflix GPT project, I have used Firebase and Google Firebase using email and password authentication. I am ensuring the security of the user, and Firebase is used by many companies for making scalable products. So I thought, and as I was in my initial learning curve, so I have only learned React.js, so I was not much into the Node.js part and authentication part. So I used Firebase. But in the next project, I have used Node.js and built my own authentication system.
Okay. So how did you implemented it
So in the second project or the first project?
in the second project?
Okay. So in the second project, what there are some concepts in the Node.js we use for making a API. So they are like first we have to configure our server.js file. So from there we what we will do, we configure a route. So if any request comes to slash user path, so we will send to a controller. So that controller is the main function that will all the logic will be executed in the controller part. So in the controller folder I have made a file user controller.js, and I have also made a schema using MongoDB. So import mongoose. So I have used the mongoose library provided by npm. So using mongoose I have created the schema. How should the schema should look like? So I have created name field, user name, email and password field. Okay, so the three field schema I have, and for the email I have make is a unique. So no duplicate emails can log in. Okay, and for password I have used regex, like why password should be 8 length. Okay, so like all those validation. So that schema is then imported to my controller, user controller. Okay, so when some user types, so he gives me the form data. So using the request object I extract that information, and in the user controller I have made two logic, one for login the user, and second for the sign up of the user. So for signing up the user, we will create a table in the MongoDB. So it's basically in the MongoDB it is called document. Okay, so we will create a document. So we will first check whether the user whether the email that is the request from that is the email that is coming from the request, whether it is coming in the MongoDB database or not. If it is not present and all these things are good, so we will save that data in the MongoDB database, and we will provide a JWT token. Okay, so JWT token, what it will authenticate, what will we do, we will also install a JWT package, and we will kept a secret key of JWT secret key, and whatever username or email you give, so using that email or your entry will be created na, like your name, password. So in MongoDB there will be a unique user ID. Using that user ID, I will create a JWT token and will pass to the local storage. Okay, so that JWT token will work whole throughout the app for the validating, for authorizing the user. So whenever the user is using something that needs some authorizations, like doing search or what, so that JWT token will be verified, because that token, if that token is correct, so that will lead to the correct user ID. So that user ID will again be verified whether the same user is coming or not. So if the same user, then we will authorize that person, and if not, and for the login, if we will see that whether that email is present in the my database or not. If that is present, then we will send the token. So that's why my authentication system works.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there are few more questions. just tell me what happens when you search any link on your browser. Suppose you search just netflix.com. What happens behind the scene?
Okay. So when what we will do, we just write the domain name of the. We will just write the URL www dot first the https colon double slash www dot netflix dot com. So there are many part of the URL. First is the protocol hypertext transfer protocol secured. So that is the protocol through which all the information will be shared. And second, the part is the domain name. Www means world wide web and dot domain name. So every domain name is mapped to some IP address. So there is in backend library, they all the domain name have some IP addresses. So for humanly language, we use like a domain name like netflix.com, but there is a unique IP address for each. So that will be mapped to that unique IP address, and every unique IP address had some address. So that will be relocated to the server for that request. And there are many servers that are present throughout the countries, like Mumbai, or means all over the country. They are spread all over the country. So the nearest server that is present from our location, the data will be fetched from that server and will come in form of response, and that response will be shown in UI in HTML or JSON format. That the main come API does. API does the acts as an interface between two computer systems to share information securely over the internet. So that is basically an API, we can say. And there are many more query parameters like slash, we want search page is equal to pagination and all that. So there are a lot of things that are happening behind the scene.
Okay, so next question is, what do you mean by a deadlock?
Okay. Deadlock is a concept in operating system when one there are few computers or few clients who are who are requesting for an service that like consider there are two clients, A and B. Okay, so A is requesting for some resource which is held by B. Okay, but B will lose that resource only when there is another resource which is held by A. Like there are two person A and B, and there are two resources C and D. A wants C, and A wants C and D both, and B wants C and D both, but A has holded the D part and B has holded the C part, and both are saying until and unless I got both the C and D, I will not lose the control of. So they are in the deadlock position. No one wants to coordinate. Everyone depends on each other. So that is the naive layman definition of deadlock.
Okay, and what is the difference between a thread and a process?
So thread is a lightweight process, we can say. So like in a process, we have everything of our own, but in thread they share the memory resources. And while in the process, we have unshared, means we have our own memory resources for the process. But in the case of thread, they are lightweight processes, but they share they share the same memory locations, and they work in coordination with each other. So for we have seen of the multi-threading systems. So there are many processors which can work simultaneously. So if we divide the process in some threads, 4 thread or 5 4 thread, 8 thread, 128, so they will run simultaneously, but they will use the same memory. So they are lightweight process, we can say.
Okay, okay, us. So your interview just got completed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if you have anything you want to ask with me.
So I want to ask one question, like uh, like while before giving this interview, I was thinking that I will not be able to solve any of the question, and like all the negative thoughts. But after giving the interview, I can see that I have solved the first question, and second question I have approached still approached and thought of the intuition. So how to get the confidence that yes, I can be a software engineer, I can develop software project products. But whatever, sometimes I think that I cannot make a change in the software industry. So how to believe in ourselves that yes, I can make something new, I can be a software engineer first of all, that yeah.
Okay. So just think of a scenario like I'm just providing you an example. We are doing this interview on Google Meet. Okay. So think of it like we are connecting from the two corners of the world,
Yeah.
right? We can imagine here, and we are just having a call. So, do you think it has impacted thousands and millions
Yeah, definitely.
people? So, by knowing this, will you get the motivation to work for a system which will impact globally the people? So, definitely, if you are in this domain and you have chosen computer science, so you'll definitely get to know about these things. So, just keep thinking like how bigger problem you are going to solve, how bigger part of the problem you are going to be contributing for the solution of those. So that will definitely lead you to motivate in this field, and you will start doing things.
So how to believe that I can make the changes.
Just start doing a small project, like suppose in your college, suppose there is some need of notes or some
Hmm.
books, and you have to go through some hurdles, like you have to ask from senior or someone, can you do something that you can make an app, you can store those things. If you start thinking in this way na, then you will definitely get the answer, and you will start doing those things. Like if you have the problem, then you will find the solution, right?
Hmm.
Mm, and if you are getting if you have any problem, that means you are thinking,
Hmm.
right, about, that's why the problem is arising. So if you have a problem, then you will start thinking like how can I solve it, then you will get the part to solve it, right?
And one more question that I think that some interviewer might ask to me. So I am asking to you that what should be my better answer. So I am asking that some interviewer ask me, you are a student of EC, electronics and communications, and why did you chosen to go in computer science branch? Why you haven't studied your branch and go to your field? So what should be my answer?
The first thing is global answer. ऐसा है तो very very बात है, but the apart from these things, having in EC background give you an edge between career switch, like
CSE.
suppose
You
yeah,
are talking
suppose,
about CSE.
no, no, I am telling you about ECE,
Okay.
not CSE.
Okay.
So if you are in ECE, then you have both the domains, like because most of the curriculum are like similar. So it gives you an extra edge if you think,
Hmm.
because being a ECE student, if you are able to go through the curriculum of computer science also, this will give you an extra benefit, like you are learning something extra, right, apart from your branches.
Hmm.
And it is it is the thing you are in EC, and there is nothing to worry ki, how should I come in CSE, right? So interviewer will get a good feedback from, like, you are doing multiple things at time,
Hmm.
you are doing, because you have to also pass through your EC examinations,
Hmm.
and so you have an extra age for that, so no need to worry.
feedback about my interview. How was my interview?
Okay, so I'm coming on that. You understood the question very clearly. It is a good thing. Okay. Something from DSA point of view, like you have to practice in few topics like topological sorting and cycle detection things. You have to really work on that area and project clarity you have. Uh, but I think there were some extra information you need not to mention, like some extra file structure or something, because this question was not asked from that area. Okay. Uh, and for the one question, google.com or netflix.com, when you search on a browser, I just tell you, okay, read it up, from the point of computer networks. Okay. Yeah. Just go through the overall steps. Okay. You should tell about like how TCP IP connection is happening, how is those things happening. You mentioned API, but behind the scene, what is happening?
Yeah.
You have to tell. Okay. So these were the good thing, and from like you were hesitating in some part, right? In between, I found you were hesitating in some part, like you were not aware about projects too much. If you have not studied about it in recent time, if you have done very long time ago, then you should definitely revise before your interview. See what you have to tell. At least 10 line you should write a summary or note and keep it with yourself. And before interview, you should just go through it so that at that time of interview, you need not to have think what have done in the past. Okay. So these were the things. So I hope your interview went well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any further question?
Why that's the question now. Am I able to contribute to software or not?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
If you are able to think of a problem, then you will definitely will try to find the answer. And if you are trying to find the answer, then you will work on these things. You will get the motivation to do those things. And if you have motivation, then you will start doing things. Then doing things, it will start occurring.
Yes, sir.
Like
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot
eh,
for.
anything more.
Yeah, I want to thank you from my heart. You gave me a time. Yeah.
I think I will better be an interviewer than an interviewee.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the best for your upcoming interviews.
Oh, it is on God now.
Yes.
I will share you some links, okay, regarding graph. You can practice those questions in pattern.
Okay.
Then you will definitely grasp the concept thoroughly.
Okay.
And one YouTube channel is Code Story with Mick. You
Yeah,
know,
I watch daily. Yeah.
yeah, I think graph playlist is better there.
Okay.
If you have to solve problem in layman,
Hmm.
he is using very simple language.
Yeah. From story to code.
If you go to a driver or someone, like you will,
Yeah.
it will go from your head,
Hmm.
out of head.
Yes.
ठीक है, रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ कर सकते हो और कुछ बात करना है तो